I didn't sleep well last night and I'm tired. It's March, but it's still cold outside, and I'm still gonna go to the gym and hit upper body. And I'm gonna take you along with me. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back to my channel. I'm Callie. I make videos about my life, so that's gonna include fashion, travel, fitness, career stuff. We're doing it all over here. Starting out the day, we're gonna pick out our workout outfit for the day. I love these matching sets. I have pinks, I have blues. Usually I color coordinate, but sometimes I do mix and match, and these are just so cute. They fit me so good. I love all the different silhouettes, and the fabric just really works for me. And then I'm gonna throw on a white box sweatsuit over the top of this little number. Now we're gonna do a simple 10-minute or so makeup routine. I'm just putting some concealer on my eyes, some mascara, some BB cream all over my face, and a little bit of cream blush that also goes on my nose and on my lips. And that just gives me a little bit of color for the day, and it doesn't take too long. And we are pretty much ready for the gym after we get this face beat. And we are also doing our hair. I'm gonna do a bun today. I like to start with 2 ponytails because then I can get that really nice part in the center. And I've also been using a lot of hair gel lately. Now we're making breakfast. I'm obsessed with avocado toast. I love poached eggs in the morning and a fried toast. This meal is a little high in fat, but I mean, look at how perfect these eggs and little toasties turned out. I'm so excited to eat it. This is my favorite meal of the day. Now I'm gonna pack up my lunch to go ahead and take with me to the gym. It's just simple white rice, ground beef, and some sort of green vegetable. Today we're doing green beans. And then I also add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. It's really very simple, very basic. Recently, I was talking with a friend about this idea of internalizing versus externalizing. Someone with a tendency to internalize is someone, if something bad happens, they tend to blame themselves. Whereas an externalizer is going to be somebody where if something were to go wrong, they tend to blame others, blame circumstances. Those are the 2 forms. And everybody tends to have a natural tendency. I think everybody can do both, depending on the situation. And I was kind of thinking about how this ties back to something that was shared with me previously. So circumstances are like 3 strands. There's one strand that's within your control. There's one strand that's in the control of the spirits or God. And there's another strand that's chaos. That's just random. It's straight up chance. I can't control it. You can't control it. Spirits can't control it. Those sorts of things, And to a lot of people that have a tendency to internalize things, that's absolutely terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to come to the conclusion to admit that there's things that are not in your control. Because as soon as you stop internalizing, you lose control. And that's why I think a lot of people that tend to internalize things do that. Because if they can internalize something, if I can make it my fault, I can fix it. Next time, I won't allow this to happen. Next time, it's going to be different. It's going to be better. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, but they might not realize it. They might not name it as that because it doesn't present as a control issue at first. But then if you dig a little bit deeper, then you come to understand, okay, well, maybe the real fear is lack of control. There's a lot of things that people do are either motivated by fear or motivated by love. And sometimes blaming yourself, taking accountability for something that isn't your fault, that can be out of fear
for not having the ability to stop it, for not having the ability to fix things, for not having the ability to do better next time. Chance is sometimes more terrifying than certainty. Finally, we have arrived at the gym and I'm ready to head inside.
I'm going to start out by foam rolling my hamstrings, quads, and glutes. All right, now we're gonna warm up the upper body with some exercise bands. Just doing back, just until we feel everything fired up. We don't have to do a certain number or anything like that. I try to go for at least 10 though. And then this one, I warm up the shoulders. Up to 15 pounds. Let's see how this goes. I got pretty close with this one principal engineer. I would go to his office and talk to him all the time. We would meet, have coffee and stuff like that. And I would just ask him questions about work and, you know, how to deal with people and how to handle sort of the situation that I was in. And he would give me like the best advice, really great, really thoughtful, really detailed answers. And a lot of times it was things that I would have never thought of, or things that I would have never been able to get out of Claude or ChatGPT or really anybody else in my life, you know? And I really valued that relationship. He just didn't respond. And I don't know, it's kind of making me sad. This man has his own life going on. I mean, maybe he just got busy with work or actual responsibilities that he has. He doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't owe me a response. He doesn't have to help me, you know? At the same time, it was really devastating, you know, talking to someone or reaching out to someone that you really value and you enjoy talking to, and to just not get a response, it kind of just hurt. At the same time, I mean, what was I really expecting? I mean, we're not working together anymore. Realizing that there's an asymmetry that exists in this relationship, and I am getting more out of it than he is. I shouldn't keep trying. You know, maybe I should invest that time and that care and that attention and those hopes into other relationships that actually want to talk to me. I have this friend, and he came to me and he was talking about this lady that he's in a relationship with, and it's been a really toxic relationship from the get-go, very emotionally manipulative. They've broken up, you know, 3 or 4 times, and he finally broke up with her now again for the 4th time, and this time he actually ended up kicking her out of his house, and so she's not living with him anymore. And he was asking me, you know, she wants to meet up, she wants to talk about it, it's been 8 days, what do you think? And I was just kind of telling him, you know, are you addicted to the drama? You know, and I really asked him that. Is it this, you know, emotional roller coaster that she puts you on? Is that giving you a thrill in some way? Is that giving you some sort of satisfaction? Because a lot of times in toxic relationships, it does that for us. We love the drama, we love the highs, the lows, we love the way it makes us feel. You know, and I asked him that, and he said, you know, that is really resonating with me. It absolutely could be that. And so I said to him, if you go and you meet up with her again, or even if you just look at a photo of her, it's gonna give you that hit of dopamine again. It's gonna bring you to that high, and it's just gonna keep you addicted to her longer and longer. You know, and every time you look at a photo or you text them or you talk to them, it just extends that time even more. And he said, you know, that's really resonating with me. I really, you know, hear you on that. And of course, you know, as a friend, like that's really hard to hear that someone's going through that.
at the same time, I have to allow people to make their mistakes. I have to allow people to go through things and make their own decisions, because if I go in there on my high horse and I just tell them, oh, well, this is what's good for you, this is the only decision, that's not gonna feel good. People want to have their own experiences, make their own decisions, feel like they're in control. So there's that side of it. And I also brought up, there could be an ego component to it. Do you feel good holding this person down? Because this person, the woman that he's in a relationship with, is going through a hard time, kind of doesn't have their act together, isn't, making that much money. Is part of it an ego thing? Like, do you feel good or do you feel better about yourself, holding this person down? And, and I asked him that. And he said, yeah, I think that, ego very likely is part of it. Yeah, there is that aspect to it. Oh, yeah, I hold this person down, I was having a conversation with another friend about shame versus guilt, and how shame is this all-encompassing, sort of pervasive judgment about ourselves that we're just fundamentally wrong, or we're not good enough, or that something is wrong with us. That's shame. And guilt is more, I did this specific action, I feel bad about it because these were the consequences, or it's not aligned with my values, something like that. And we were talking about how there's positive shame and there's negative shame. Positive shame would be, oh, I regret killing this person, or I feel bad about killing this person. And negative guilt could be something like, oh, I feel bad about not, bringing, or I feel bad about bringing a salad to the Friendsgiving party because I didn't know that everybody at the party doesn't like salad. Something really silly like that, where we're just holding ourselves to an unrealistic standard, or we're trying to, satisfy requirements or wants or needs that haven't been communicated to us in any way, shape, or form. So that's an example of negative guilt. And another thing that I talked about in relation to this shame concept is how ultimately your secrets keep you sick. If you're holding something inside and you're feeling shame about it, it's going to keep you sick. It can keep you depressed. It can keep you anxious. And so it's best, if you are feeling some type of way, to talk about it with someone, to be open with someone about that and have those conversations. The other thing I want to talk about is taxes. It's tax season right now, and it's really overwhelming. I made a lot of moves this year financially, and it's just hard to deal with everything. It's hard to know, okay, do I hire a professional? Do I do TurboTax? What's the move? And I think I need to hire a professional, but it's quite expensive. And at the same time, which professional? Because my situation's a little bit complicated. So I don't know, is anybody else struggling with that right now? Another thing that's on my mind is sometimes I feel like I go to concerts too much and I stay out late too much, and it kind of impacts my health routine. I have a bedtime and I have a wake up time, and I really like to stick as closely to that as possible, even if I don't have anything going on in the morning. And I think it just really helps my fitness routine and my mental health, and it helps me stay on track for my health and fitness goals. And when I stay up really late, even if it's just till 2 a.m. or something,
We've had quite a lot going on today, and now to finish off the evening, we are gonna make some chicken breast for tomorrow. So I'm just popping some chicken breast into my Instapot, along with various aromatic vegetables such as green onions, cilantro, and some fajita vegetables. So I'm just, cutting up some bell peppers and placing those in there, and also some habaneros, some jalapenos, and some serrano peppers. And I'm also adding some taco seasoning and fire roasted tomatoes, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. I just pop it in the Instapot for 7 minutes, set it and forget it, and I'm ready to eat it for a couple of days, maybe 2 days, and this just feeds my family. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've been wanting to get fit and toned but feel overwhelmed about where to start, I created my Fit and Toned in 8 Weeks ebook to make the process simple and achievable. It's an 8-week guide that covers workouts, nutrition, mindset, and goal setting, all designed to help you build consistency and see real progress. I put everything together I've learned from my own fitness journey into a step-by-step roadmap to help you feel stronger, more confident, and empowered in your body. If you're ready to take the guesswork out of your fitness journey, check out the link below and join me today.